I know poverty from any corner. Whatever direction it takes, I know it. And I'm telling you, I can't say I was poor really, but I was financially challenged. And by that time, I was still in the bank. I used to be having the taste of a real manager, but the salary of a true messenger. Okay? My money, there was no way it was going to cover my expenses. Have you ever been in a situation like that? Hata ukaongezewa hiyo kazi. In fact, I used to pray God that if I got any place that can pay me 500,000, I will work like crazy. No wonder you see I work like a playing mantis. Nakimbia kukimbia, si ni ukweli? This kind of thing I didn't get from employment. I was a qualified banker, and I taught banking, and I was actually an examiner in finance of international trade, a renowned examiner. And when it came to banking, I thought that was it. Then, I'm doing it, and I'm still broke. Do you know sometimes you may not understand human beings? Do you know how many people will wake up in the morning, afunge tai, avae vizuri, smell good, look good, but go when they are broke? Human beings are very strange animals, isn't it? Aki, I've seen people do like me. You are broke, but you still go anyhow. Do you know people like that? Aki, it was shame on me. It was shame on me because I didn't know. You see, much of the things we do in life is because we do not know. Somebody tells you this is called a door, and you say no. That one, I suspect it. I think it's going to swallow me into something. The door I'm going to use is this one. Who is right? Human beings are like that. I had heard about network marketing for many years, and I couldn't do it. At one stage, that was a year before I joined, my wife had been called by one of the people who taught me network marketing later. Akaitwa akaambiwa kuja tukuonyeshe. Akaenda akasikiza, akasema, my husband, and you know my husband is a banker, my husband cannot do those things. Ukweli? Na akatoka. And then she comes to a broke husband who can only survive if he meets Shylocks. If you know Shylocks. I started borrowing money at 30% kitambo sana kabla watu wajue kuna pesa inakopwa kwa 30%. So you find I have money at the end of the month, and the month ends when I have that's the time I have the biggest headache. Sisi kama mnaelewa hivyo. I'm trying to paint to you why the brokenness. So I get money, it's not my money. And then I'm still having this taste, crazy taste. Nikitokea nisikie banker. Funeral arrangement. Banker. Nikitokea nisikie banka na nikula hivi mahali tulikuwa tunasema chavua mesa. Banka. Nikienda kufika Monday, everybody who have come across knows that I borrow money. And then my wife is still saying my husband cannot do those things. So I get to this business and it wasn't getting, I was conned. What happened is that a friend of mine who knew me very well, and if you knew me very well, you had been on a situation where we are talking about some money you gave me which I can't pay. So this guy calls me and tells me, come, I show you how to make some money. I'm still having this aura of a bank. To give you an idea, I had a huge neck. You understand? I was huge. I used to weigh 115 kilos. My biggest problem, My biggest problem was my trousers. I would have a nice suit, and borrowed for a number of years. I would have a nice suit, but I couldn't sit vizuri tu, because hapa katikati kulikuwa kumeraruka ama kumewekwa kiraka juu ya kingine, na suti inakaa mzuri tu. So now this guy calls me to this event, and I walk in there, and I'm looking a very successful banker, by the way. And I had already sold my car because I was starting to farm tomatoes. So you imagine I would get to a matatu very early in the morning. I would hold a newspaper, hata kama kuna giza, hakuna kitu nasoma. I would hold a newspaper because I couldn't imagine. Hata wewe ukiangalia hiyo kimutu, utajua hapa there is some misplaced thing. Sasa, when I got there, I knew now it's network marketing, and I was getting ready to walk out. Lucky enough, he had put me in front. Very strategic. So I look around, wake up, no, wake up, no. Until somebody came and gave a testimony. And this young lady gave a testimony that she had sacked her boss. Unfortunately, mine was sacking me. That one had sacked her boss, mine was sacking me. You see the difference? But nevertheless, we resonated. And that's how you find me here. Came in on borrowed money because there was no way I was going to have money which had not passed through a Shylock. I used to have what I call secondary money. It has passed through a Shylock for approval. And I borrowed. And before I make you very sad, I came in. What was very bad is that I came in and I was expecting money the following day. So just in case you are here and you are expecting money now, if you are here and you are expecting money now, then it's kind of unfortunate. You may have to pass the route I passed through of no money for 5 months. My first payment was 776 shillings. I don't know whether you know 776 shillings. Ya Kenya, see $776. 776 shillings after how many months? I'll tell you the reason it came into that. The mistake was my teachability. I wanted the money. How many people want the money but they don't want to do what it takes? Yaani mtu ni rahisi sana, hata ukiambiwa weka mtu Calvary, utaweka mtu Calvary. Si ni pesa unataka? I needed money like I need breathing, and I didn't care. So when I went, I started. Alafu watu wengi walikuwa wananiambia hiyo kitu umeingia iko shetani. Mimi nasema aya. Na sasa hata kama iko shetani, si anipatie pesa. Nikagoja. Mwezi wa kwanza, and I got to my 5th month after quitting 3 times. Do you imagine quitting 3 times? Naijaribu inakuwa ngumu, mawe, nini. Today, I listen to people and I watch people because my work is to watch people. I watch people and I sympathize. I realize majority are passing through my route of unteachability. I realize it's because the nail has not become sharp enough. The nail has not become sharp enough. Story is told about this guy, and he had a dog. It was somewhere in South Africa. And the dog was howling throughout in pain. Ooh, ooh. And a friend who had passed through there was wondering, how come your dog is wailing? And the guy said, leave the dog alone. This guy asks, why? He is told he's sitting on, amekalia mshumari. He's sitting on a nail. Huyu jamaa anamuuliza, na si ungemtoa? Anasema no. The nail is not sharp enough. That's why he keeps on holding. That is why majority of us will keep on making noise and howling. Oh, sina pesa. Oh, sina nini. And the reason I'm telling you this without sympathy is because I was there. Now I'm like that dog owner who knows the nail is not sharp enough. I was there. I would tell people I'm broke. They would see me broke, but still I wasn't ready to do whatever it takes. Then I get this job. With the UN. And it was a real test. God can test you. God can test you. It was a real test. Nikienda hata kesha unakumbuka nilikuwa naombea if I can get 500,000. I got a job and it paid me $4,500. That was in 2000. $4,500. And I was the senior banking consultant with the UN. And I had to go and work in a place called Hargeisa. Nikasikia. My wife akasikia. Mambo yetu ikakuwa ni hallelujah. Good thing is that this money used to be paid to my wife. So there was no discussion, analipwa yote. Na ananitumia ile atanitumia ama anafanya vile anataka. Lakini ilikuwa ni wakati wa kulipa madeni. So now, what happened is that I went for 3 months. 3 months when it was looking very good. And I came here with the intention of going back for another 3 months and more months and more months and more months. But when I got here, I found a gentleman that had started in the business. He was a banker. He was more convinced than me. At least he had courage to invite people. So he invited an Asian lady. Hiyo alikuwa ameuma kubwa. Ungeniambia ni invite Asian, singe invite. Isipokuwa ni mimi nilimleta. So akaniambia aenda umsaidie. Huyu Asian alikuwa customer yake kwa benki. Yeye anamjua, mimi namuogopa. Nikaenda. Nimejawa na maji tumbo yote. Najaribu kumwelezea, but now I'm talking about, nikamwelezea vile pesa itakuwa kubwa. Akanyamaza, akaniuliza hivi, she was a rich girl. Akaniuliza hivi, if you are sure there will be so much money, why are you leaving us to go and earn peanuts? Peanuts was my $4,500. Would you call it peanuts even today? So now, I realized it was peanuts. You need to sit with somebody who can change you completely. Tell your neighbor, I want you to change me completely. I want you to change me completely. You can sit with somebody who can mess your financial understanding. My financial understanding became something else. And I called $4,500 peanuts. Vis-a-vis, the network marketing company was paying me $300. Do you see it was bordering on stupidity and madness? Either one you choose will fit. That is when I realized to keep a wife is not easy. All these other years, it was looking easy. You have not shown your wife that you can make you some money and then you make this kind of mistake. Trouble. Shida ikanianza. Yani unaelewa shida? I made a decision to start from the bottom, and I went starting from the bottom. I don't know how I survived. I don't know how God helped me, but I want to tell you, I woke up one morning, I told God, if you are alive, then this is the time I need your help. Yani, nikaanza kazi. Na naanza kazi blindly. I would leave my wife crying in the morning, I would find her crying in the evening. I don't know whether she had some short periods when she would keep quiet. Which is terror for a beautiful lady. Are you realizing that Mungu ananipenda? Because if that girl went, you would not be seeing me here. Now, sasa nikafanya kazi. And that is when the nail now becomes sharp. It doesn't matter what you are going through. What matters is what is going through you. Na kama wewe utakuwa una hole, sina pesa, no money, utaendelea. The nail is not sharp enough. And it will be sharp enough when you decide now is now. There is no question about that. And that's what I did. There was to be no two-way. In 3 years of working, I had taken my children to St. Andrew's School, Turi. And Turi, I was paying $6,000 per term per kid. So I was paying $18,000. Kupata pesa katika hiyo kampuni ilikuwa ni kama kungoa watu meno. It was hard, believe you me. If there is anything I've ever felt hard, it is that one. It was hard. Lakini whatever the case, I was committed to take it to the top. 10 years of that. Can you imagine? And that's when I believed in network marketing real. I never really made the money because every money I made would go with school fees. That school fees was terror. That you are paying $18,000 every 3 months. That was terror, isn't it? I did it. And then, as if that is not enough, one of my daughters says she wants to go for A-levels. I ask her where. She says, UK, you'll be forgiven for thinking it's United Kisumu. It was the real thing out there. Na yule mtu ambaye naye haogopangi ni mimi, nikamchukua nikaenda kumsettle for 1 week. 1 week in the UK, settling her. I've seen Carol do that. Carol, give Carol a big hand for that. And one of now my boy said, I also want to go for A-levels. I asked where? South Africa. One of my daughters did not care A-levels. Haki nikasema hallelujah. Sasa, I did the number of years. 10 years in that company. Nikaona hapa ni pagumu. Nikaenda ingine. Nikaona hapa ni pagumu. 20 years of consistent terror. Yani you are waking up with a small sweat running behind your back. 4.5 years ago, 4 years, 10 months ago, that's when we came to this company. Now it was God sent. And I tell you, when we started out of promises. My wife had told me she won't do it. I told her then, in that case, I'm resigning from the other one, you can start. Akaona hapa kumekuwa kugumu. We came in. We came in not knowing what to find ahead, but with a lot of belief and faith and trust from what we had. It's about you coming up and taking responsibility. Unfortunately, in this business, the only person who can help you is the one who brought you. But they can help you to a certain extent, so long as you are teachable. Are we together? So much of everything is on you. To do or not to do, much of it is on. To succeed or not to succeed, much of it is on. So today marks the start of a new chapter.